What is up, guys? Just picked up a custom challenge. This is a rated one, and we've got a Sicilian, and my opponent is George Binnock, rated 1169, so there's 400 points difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Grand Prix, and this starts on the closed Sicilian with 2 knight to c3. Okay, general idea is I want to trade off my light squared bishop because for this knight, if I can. But the first move is to play f4. Okay, I'm waiting for this d-pawn to move. If this d-pawn moves, then I can pin the knight, and that guarantees the trade, right? If I was to do this now, black can play the knight down here and hit my bishop, or just messes things up. So this is the Grand Prix attack. Okay, it's e4, f4. So it suits the Freddy Krueger repertoire. Okay, so they've played e6. And now I'm biding my time, so knight to f3. It's nice to put the knight behind the pawn, behind the f-pawn. And now they've struck out in the middle. So now what I can do is I can play my bishop out to here. I'm not too worried about this. I'll just recapture with my knight. It improves my knight. And the general plan is going to be to castle short, then queen e1, and maybe queen to g3. Eyeing up this square, which is probably where that king is going to head. I doubt the king is going to castle long, but I have seen it in the Grand Prix. So pretty much whatever happens, I can just take that knight. More than likely comes with check. Now here I also have an e5 option. If I take pawn must take, not there, pawn must take, then I kind of like this. I like this idea. The other nice thing about e5 is it removes the f6 square away from their knight. So let's take the knight first. Let's get rid of that. Now if I do push e5, it means we've got less of a kind of a light squared deal going on, but I might just push d3 anyway. So is this a move? It's a move, right? It comes with tempo, so the bishop now has to retreat. It makes life hard for this knight. I'm going to get castled. I want to wriggle my queen up here. Target g7. So he's now got to waste the turn. So he's only got one piece out in the board, you see, whereas I have 2. And they are perfectly placed knights. He has no queen's knight, and his king's knight is in a little bit of a pickle. So now what we do is we castle. Okay, and now f6. So he's got 2 attackers on there, but I have 2 defenders also. Not the biggest fan of that move. It might open up queen h5 check ideas. Now, am I worried about this? No. Do I want to waste time kind of shoring up my defences? I don't think so. I think what's more important is either getting the queen out here or developing my bishop. See, currently this pawn is undefended, so I think d3 is not a bad move here. Even d4, let's consider d4. Takes, I've got knight takes, but that... Okay, I'm going to play d3. If he pushes... Jensen, no one wants to listen to you nibbling. Go away. Okay, so he's done that. This is fine. I'm unconcerned, I think. Right, defended. If I take pawn must take, and that gives him doubled and isolated pawns, I'm doing that. Then I don't think I want to trade queens off, because I believe that I'm in a stronger position. Let's throw in a check, okay. I think that's my only move, king h1. Was there any point to this check? We don't know. Okay, now b3 springs to mind. Also, the pawn is kind of pinned because there's a rook behind it, so But then if I push b3, he's got pawn takes, then I might just push on and leave this bishop looking stupid. Or I can just move the rook. But then that gives him the free pawn. He's going to have a free pawn anyway. If I do this, takes, push, he's got a free pawn. I kind of like, do I want my rook? I really want my rook on d1. Let's do this move then. If he takes a push, and then his pawn is in his own way. I've got queen e2. If he takes here, queen e2, then he can't take the next pawn because his bishop will hang. And then I can put my rook there. Okay, I'm slightly surprised at that. I thought he was going to take it, but... Alright, now, with this knight move, which black was forced into playing because the natural square is not only controlled by my pawn, but blocked off by his, I now have pawn takes and the queen can't recapture. And now, if I take, has to be g. And that's giving him 3 pawn islands, right? I'd love to put my knight there, but if pawn takes, it's not on. These bishops do look good where they are, but that's really all he's got. His problem is he's not castled. Right. I'm just looking at pawn takes, sack the rook. No need whatsoever. I think I want to get my queen out of the way. Like queen here, pawn takes I can just push. And my idea is to play rook d1. And that will pin this pawn. If I can do it now, if he lets me do it now, it pins this pawn. And that's good for me. Well, bugger me. What is that? Where's the king going? Where's he off to? Okay, well, I'll tell you what, he's defending this pawn. I didn't even see that I was attacking that pawn. That was foolish. Now, if I push, he pushes. I've got knight takes. If pawn takes, queen takes, that's all right. I think I want to get a rook onto d1 ASAP. Now, the question is, do I do it immediately with this rook, or do I move the bishop out the way, get it lined up against all these prizes, and then do that? Now, if I do bishop here, and he takes, I do rook here, well, then a lot of stuff in the middle of the board falls, doesn't it? I'm going to try the bishop. I would prefer to release this rook and leave this rook on f1 with options. If he does this immediately, I get rook a to d1. He has to block with a knight. I can eliminate the knight, then he'll recapture with a pawn. But whatever, okay, he's not done it. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, now he's targeting a loose pawn. Get it. A knight move would defend that pawn. And also threatens queen there. We like this. Do we like this? Not really, because it hangs the knight. Okay, so I'm going to play rook a to d1 first. Then this is an option. Now, if he wants to come in and grab a free pawn, so be it. Freddie is my least favourite child, as previously established. Now, I have now knight to d4. This comes with a discovered attack on the queen. Also means that both queen and knight are looking at that. So he also hasn't got time to capture the knight with... Hang on. Knight here. He's not going to take with the queen. Tradey, tradey. mourn the lady. Knight here. He takes with the bishop, he's a fool, because I take his queen. So I think that looks alright. And I like that. I just like this move in general. This is what I wanted to play anyway. We're targeting the queen, we're targeting the pawn behind it. This bishop's looking a little bit out of place right now because there's horses in the way of everything. But I like the feel of this position. 8 minutes left. This is a 1:15 game for me. If I lose this, I go down to 15:52. If I win it, I'm 15:68. So where's the queen going to go? If she goes here, I have the option to trade. I think that's quite likely. If we trade, it brings his pawn to the centre. Oh, okay, that's a little bit more kind of timid. But let's have a look. Knight here hits the queen. If pawn takes... I've just lost a knight, okay. Yeah. There's a hanging pawn. Free stuff. Also puts 3 attackers on there. Sold. Sold to the gentleman. Okay, now queen here is a distinct possibility. Just wins another pawn. I'm not worried about this. I've got rook takes. I think I kind of like to move my knight. I mean, is this stupid? Oh no, it backs up that. This knight to a4. Okay, that would hang my queen as things stand. But I think what's critical in the situation, this is something that I'm really practicing at the moment, is trying to focus on what is critical. Well, the key, the overriding imbalance, the overriding factor, I'm a pawn up, but the material isn't material right now, okay? Material is immaterial. The key thing is this king is out at sea in the middle of the board, and my opponent hasn't engaged his rooks, right? So black is in a weakened state. Therefore, what we want to do is we want to launch seriously evil ideas. This now becomes an idea as well, hitting 2 pieces, but it's undefended where it is. Now, if either knight should come to there, it would be defending that square, but I can't see a way to make that happen. Question is, I mean, what is my intention? Is my intention to go in with a queen? That would force a trade of queens. They take, I take, probably double up rooks on the e-file, and we're in a good position. But not a glorious one. This pawn is pinned. I can't move this pawn right now. I might wish to move my queen somewhere. Just get rid of some of these issues. That's attack once, defended once, so that's not a problem. I'd like to take or push with this pawn somehow. Is that even an idea? Knight there hits queen, pawn takes. Then king and queen are in line. I just have to move my knight, so I just knight here. Something. I mean. Oh. Okay. Stop, rewind. This changes everything. Right. First thing is, what is my opponent doing? He's got like hopes of mate in 1. Right? I applaud that. I can defend with knight f3. I can defend with g3. I'm going to kill that bloody rooster. Right. Knight f3 I like, because it reinstates the pin on this pawn. I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm going to play that move. But anyway, I'm down to 7 minutes as well. So we had a good think about that. He took nearly 2.5 minutes over that idea. So knight defends this, okay? But the other point is, now I can take here. Well, I can't immediately because, as previously mentioned, the queen would hang. Knight here. Okay, so he wants to take, then he wants to eliminate my knight. But that's not a problem. Take, right, see, now I can do whatever I want, because if he then uses this rook, which is now f8 to take my knight, g takes, and lo and behold, the queen defends h2. No, okay, so I'm having to think. I can't play. I can play this. No. Then queen takes. No. I don't see it. He's attacking my rook. It's undefended. Right, let's trade rooks off. This is a nice, super tactical position here. So if he takes my knight out and sacks the exchange, I can. Oh. Hang on. I can only recapture with a queen now. And then I get mated. That's not ideal. I'm going to have to push g3, aren't I? Push g3 or rook d2. No, because if takes, rook d2 doesn't stop mate. So it's g3. Right. Doesn't matter. As long as you're making the right moves, doesn't matter. I'm going back to this idea now. Pawn can't take, pawn pinned. I'm attacking the queen. Queen can't stay there and can't go there. And can't go there. So she's got this idea. Hello. Hello. What do we have here? He's coming up with ideas though. I like your play, mate. Here, pawn can't take. I'm hitting the queen. Queen can't go there and can't go there. Queen has to abandon her ideas. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. She might come here. That's fine. Or she might go there. She can't go there because of bishop. Can't go there because of pawn. Can't go there because she gets stuck by the pawn. Can't go there because of bishop. And she can't retreat. So, two options. Neither of which is terribly appealing. She comes here, I've got pawn push as well. Queen here is the more likely. There are two checking squares for the knight. I haven't got pawn takes because again it angles the blooming queen. I might just need to get my queen on a dark square and even just here. You think here? Here? Does target a pawn. My knight's safe because the pawn's pinned. Let's play that. I'm going to try and use the clock now. I'm under 5 minutes. My opponent's on 6 minutes. Okay, now I really want to do that. I want to bust open that centre, whatever happens. Even pawn here, knight here? Don't know. Can I support my bishop there with a skewer on queen and rook? That would be nice. But not easily, is the answer. A4, rook A1 is the quickest way to do that, but that's still 3 moves for a moderately evil idea. Okay, so he took a minute over that. So I'm satisfied my opponent is not receiving assistance. Yeah, it's something that you have to think about. Okay, you're hitting my queen. I've got push. I think I'm in a good position. I'm just going to push. Not going to think too hard because I've got queen and knight on there. So if you take, you simply lose a piece. I may even take the queen and force the issue. So I know that wasn't an engine move. I've even got bishop here as well. To reinforce the pawn further if I want. I've got b4 to reinforce the pawn further. Alright. The bishop now retreats. And now I've lost my opportunity to grab that pawn. I didn't really think that one through, did I? Okay, I'm going to push c4. Again, this pawn can't take, it's pinned. And it just blunts this bishop off for the rest of the game. King runs away. Let's throw in a check. Let's pre-move the recapture by the knight. It's going to pin this knight if this knight moves. Okay, this knight's now pinned, so I need to get my queen out of line with the evil rook. And I'm just going to put my queen here. Okay, still... Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Eliminate his other bishop. He's got this is a shit bishop, technical term. This is a decent bishop. This bishop has had evil intent for much of the game. This bishop is worse than a pawn at this moment in time. This bishop coming there, I can then force a trade with his only good bishop and leaving him with just the shit one. Yep, we're on, game on. Queen moves, I trade bishops. I'm up 30 seconds on the clock. Queen takes bishop is just not on. It's just not on. I also want, no, do I want to, no, actually, he's got trading pawns as well now. So I think this bishop might come back to life in a minute. Okay, trade off. Queen takes. Right. Can't go there. I think I have to take here. Or do I let him take? I want to keep this bishop bad if at all possible. A knight here attacks two undefended pawns. It's probably the way to go. Let's trade off first, and then knight here attacks one undefended pawn. But if he recaptures, I can take back. Also, actually, knight here, and there's a discovery by my queen on that pawn, so I'm still attacking two pawns. He's got 3 minutes. And this is by no means a one position for white. That is interesting. You see, now suddenly this bishop is a player. Okay, he's got two attackers on here. If bishop takes, knight is pinned. Hang on. That was a move. I'm going to play queen here. Reason is because it pins this pawn against the king. Now that pawn can't take. If bishop takes, my knight is pinned and double attacked and undefended. So I think I'm going to have to trade, give up the exchange in this case. See how this bishop just came... Oh, no. I can take it for free. Bishop can't take. It's not on. Because the pawn's still pinned, so he can't recapture. So if bishop takes, I just take it. Whew! Clever queenie. Look at you. Right. King g1 is not a bad idea. Should get the hell off the light squares now. Hang on. I've just hung my knight. However, I have queen takes pawn check. He's down to 2 minutes. Down to 2 minutes. Game on. George, you're putting up a proper fight, my friend. Proper fight. Now, G4 defends the knight. Discover. Okay, he's done it. All right, let's do this. I'm not going to hang around. I'm going to... Okay, now I've got this. No, this. Could win the pawn. I'm not scared of the queen. The queen is on the wrong colour at the moment. I am scared of this bishop. Queen drops down. Do I take here? Or do I just defend my bishop? No, my pawn. Hang on. Bishop takes, rook... Oh, I've got queen takes, actually. Okay. Take the pawn. You can't take that because I've got this, and there's no back rank if you've lost your bishop, because I then come here. I think King G1 is a sensible move because it prevents that. We talked about this. I can take... Oh, hang on. There, king here. No, it's alright. It's alright. Queen's guarding that. I was worried about getting my rook pinned by the queen. This is fine. I've got king G2, king H3. Think we're alright. Also, yeah, the queen now... Oh, she's got this. But then I've got that with check defending the rook. That doesn't work. I'm just going to trade off and you're going to time out. I'm also hitting the rook. Okay. Now, do I play rook here? If queen here with check, just dodge out the way. Or is there something eviler? What's eviler than that? 36 seconds on the clock. I'm going to try and keep it simple. Keep these two linked. That's just drops the rook and loses the game. Time pressure, that's all that was. But George Binnock, mate, that was a game. That was a proper game. You give me a game. Well done. Okay, now this is the square. The king can't stop the... And I'm not afraid of stalemates because this pawn can move. And he resigns. Okay. Well done. That was a bloody good game. You fought very hard. Nice one. Well, well, well. Let's have a quick look at the review. I mean, you know, I know it wasn't a fantastic game, but I think George did remarkably well. I wouldn't be surprised if he's 70 accuracy or even higher. Okay. Wow. So he was absolutely winning for a bit. Oh, what? Okay, well this is the last few moves of the game. Yeah. So we can ignore that. I have a blunder here. Okay, he says I should have just taken the free pawn. Okay, so what it's saying is I should have taken there, and then if rook takes here, I've got takes with check, and I'd have been all right. But yeah, but you know what? Fair play to George. You know, George gave me a proper run there. I made 2 great moves, he made 1. Good stuff. 1 blunder on my side and only 2 for George. So yeah. And do you know what as well? If you're rated like 1168 like George is, taking these open challenges against stronger players is only going to make you stronger. You don't want to be getting in the ring to train against weaker opponents. You want to be getting in and training against stronger opponents. And, you know, he's just had a great game and he's lost 1 rating point. Okay, and he could have won 15. He really could. You know, he had chances to do it. So all good stuff. So at this point, I was absolutely winning. So let's say, where was I winning here, and then G3 it hated. Okay, look, it wanted me to play knight e4 here. That move I really wanted to play, and that would have been just really good. Anyway, I can't remember why I pushed that instead, but yeah, I was worried about this mating attack. Okay, so here knight e4 is best, and it's actually saying the best move for black here is to take and give up the queen. Goodness gracious me. Why? Because the queen can't go here. Really? Let's have a look at the lines. What's black's other option? D takes e4 is apparently least bad. Bishop takes c4 is the second best. And then queen b4 here is his third best move. And then knight e to g5, I move out of the way and I'm threatening this. Fair play. Stockfish, I appreciate the lesson. Thank you very much. I should have played that nice aggressive move. I was just being a little over cautious, I think, at that point in time, but there you go, lesson in there. Okay, hope you've learned one or two things as well, and thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.